Driving a brand new luxury car in 2022 doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend 2 arms and 3 legs just to be able to afford it. As a matter of fact, you can get into a great new luxury car this year that still gives you the feeling that you've been pampered like a king or a queen, has much of the technology, style, and designs that you would expect from the upper end luxury cars, and you can do so on a paperboy salary. I'm going to share a list of 5 amazing luxury cars that are cheap like borscht and still worth owning. Let's get into it now. Life's too short to drive boring cars. So let's dive right in, and the first great vehicle that's affordable is what's behind me. Oh, no, that's not it. Whoops. And the first one on our list is this hot little Euro wagon right here. What we're looking at dressed in white is something that looks an awful lot like a Honda CR-V from the back. But no, it's not a base model anything. This is a Euro luxury car, and you can have this beautiful little Volvo for a relatively minor pence. Take a look. Here we're dealing with the XC40, and it's the T5R with the all-wheel drive as optional. We have beautiful little tailpipes down there, as you can see. The dresses up very, very nice. Love these rear tail light finishes on all these modern day Volvos. Of course, there you have the overhang, typical and classic for a small sporty SUV. Beautiful plastic, it's gonna protect the bodywork. And I love that indentation right there, looks very sharp. And how about that? High gloss, piano gloss black mirrors. There are another set of beautiful headlights by Volvo. You get also little extra lights there. It's a very sharp looking vehicle all the way around. Love all that plastic's gonna protect the bodywork from the stones. Beautiful wheels. What about the interior? The interior definitely feels like a luxury car. You have beautiful stitching, you've got perforated seats, heated and cooled, piano gloss black finishing within, and a lot of amenities throughout. Up here on top, you have this wonderful oversized glass panel. Right along the top, you'll see it gives a lot of light inside the vehicle for the passengers to enjoy. And you know, in the Volvo way, they're gonna have every piece of electronic technology that's gonna keep you comfortable and safe. But this also comes featured with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-banger that makes about 187 horsepower and hammers a walloping 221 pound-feet of torque of twist out of that engine. Beautiful array, always in the right gear and the right speed for that big passing maneuver that you're going to expect. Now, if you can believe it, all this beautiful packaging here can be yours for a mere $35,100. And essentially for not much more than a new baseline Toyota Camry, you're literally riding in the lap of luxury. And number 2 on my list is this great little hot rod here. And yes, you can get in a 3-pointed star for about $34,000. What does that get you? Well, right here is what it gets you. Beautiful car. Obviously, we've got the sporty hatch style here, 4 doors, and you've got a lot of seating capacity. Beautiful wheels, like that. Of course, you get beautiful little vents and all this beautiful finishing touches on the exhaust tips. Typical LED taillights for Benz. And I even like the side of the styling of this vehicle here. Don't forget all the chrome touches and piano gloss black finishing on the mirrors. Gorgeous. Look at the front headlights, LED style. There's your 3-pointed star, bright and bold. Of course, right there, love those little vents and touches and more ventilation right there for touch. Right there we see as well, very, very large glass panel to provide lighting in the cabin for all the passengers involved. Love all this chrome where you've got the 2-tone handle style. Soft touch handles as well, access, LEDs. Beautiful interior, high quality leather, and lots of contrast stitching to boot. Very, very highly addressed. And what we're looking at here is an A250, and it's a 4MATIC. So that means it's all-wheel drive, clawing at the asphalt. Now, this is primarily a front-wheel drive with the addition of rear wheel to support. Beautiful little gloss black finishing on there, and I love that overhang at the back. Very, very sporty touch. And even for that mere 34 grand, you think, okay, yes, it's a Benz, it has lots of technology, sure. Decent performance too. You know what's under the hood? 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Yes, it makes about 190 horsepower and almost 230 pound-feet of torque. Way more than enough jam to get up and get going. And as well, all of that is coupled up to a 7-speed double clutch transmission. Yeah, not a sloppy slop box, actually double clutch, so that thing's gonna be shifting lightning quick. It's fun, relatively reliable, and chock full of technology. You can't go wrong with a modern A-Class Benz. And the next one on my list is this beautiful little hot rod parked behind me here. Now, some would argue it's maybe not necessarily the most engaging from a performance standpoint, which is counterproductive to the competition and the class that it sort of sits in. However, it does so many things well. Now, what we have here is an IS300, and it's the all-wheel drive, which of course in the Lexus world, they default to rear-wheel drive, and in all-wheel drive, the front wheels start clawing at the pavement as needed, versus the Toyota brand, which is essentially very similar. It's primarily a front-wheel drive operation, but these are absolutely beautiful. Now, while not everybody loves the styling, I would say it's very, very easy to say that the rest of the car looks gorgeous. This is the part that's a little controversial. It always has been in the Lexus world. Not everybody loves that oversized big mouth grille on the front. It's an acquired taste. There it is, but you've got a camera on there and those beautiful headlights. I love that design. Of course, right there you've got a strong underbite, so it's an aggressive stance from the side profile regardless. And then you have these beautiful wheels. They're almost gunmetal gray, but they're high quality and nicely finished. And then you cycle along the sides and absolutely gorgeous. Look at the rocker panel, how it flares out. Absolutely thing of beauty. Then we circle around the back. Of course, I love these taillights, and of course the newer revised IS has this light bar across the back. Then here we have a lower section that is definitely going to wear better. You get rocks, you get boots kicking up on that when you're pulling stuff out of the trunk. This is definitely going to prevent scratches. One pipe and two pipes, so it definitely has a very strong and performance-oriented stance to it. Now you have this upper deck lid here that's also a unique look and a restyle for this car. And you can't help but love the looks of this brushed aluminum as it sculpts around the windows all the way along. How about that mirror? That's the LC500 style mirror. Love it. Gorgeous. Good job there, Lexus, on that one. Here you have a sunroof, albeit a fairly standard or smaller sunroof. Almost the same type of sunroof you'd find on a Honda Civic, but it works. What about the interior? Literally, I would say Lexus has definitely brought up their game tenfold and easily counters anything from Audi, Benz, or BMW. Look at the quality. You have dual climate control, you have heated, cooled seats. You have literally almost every luxury amenity you could possibly dream of in this car. But what's under the hood? That's really what matters, and there's really a few different engine configurations. This one's outfitted with the 2-liter turbo engine, makes about 241 horsepower, which sounds adequate. It's a little heavier car, but it's actually not one of the sportier offerings within its segment. You can actually rev up to the F-Sport IS500, which brings you up to almost 500 ponies, but the problem is you get into the V8 and it's going to cost you a whole ton more money. You can actually buy almost 2 of these for the price of one IS500. But if you can believe it, as it sits right now, this beautiful IS300 you can get from a starting price of about $40,000. This represents great value. Lexus has the reliability, the durability to make sure that this car lasts 20, 30 years if you take care of it. Do your oil services, do your maintenance. Don't look back. This thing will run literally forever. The IS300. And the next car on my list that's a great luxury car that's not going to break the bank is... No, sorry guys, it's actually this one. We have the Acura TLX right here, the latest and the greatest. Absolutely gorgeous, but it's not just that they have the chiseled looks, because they do. Let's take a quick look around and tell you why I think this car is definitely worth owning if you're looking for a modern day luxury car that won't break the bank. Look at these gorgeous headlights. They literally make this car stand out. This car is very, very sharp looking from the side, very aggressive. These front grills look a lot like our C-Class Mercedes, of course, here. Here we have the Acura logo. Naturally, you've got that wonderful high gloss, piano gloss black finishing. And then looking down the side, it is a gorgeous texturing with these wonderful lines that crease all the way down, and then it extends out, and then we get a new line down here to accentuate the hips on this beautiful car. Then down here we have these beautiful little juts right here, gives us a sporty look, and 1 and 2 exhaust tips. Yes, there's a little fake going on in there, but which manufacturer doesn't do that these days? And it's the TLX. Gorgeous taillights, again, more LEDs. And look, what's this? It's all-wheel drive. More little creases on the hood there, beautiful. I love this extension right here, how it actually squares right off. It doesn't look plain. There is a little bit of a flare off there. Beautiful touch. Lovely wheels on this base model. Of course, you have these awesome handles here, far from basic. And of course, piano gloss black with that nice LED strip on the end. You get a sunroof to boot. What about inside? Man, has Acura ever stepped up their game in the quality, fit, and finish. Look, you get contrast stitching, all kinds of different finishing. brushed aluminum handles and features throughout. And the driver's pod is absolutely gorgeous. Everything in this car is a step above the rest. So why then would you buy this over so many other great choices? Well, number one, it's a Honda product because it's an Acura. So it's going to run a long time, very reliably. As well, it's one of the last outgoing. There's still a few analog bits in here. There's a lot of knobs and buttons that you can still operate. They're very tactile by very function. Of course, even the gauge, the cluster is also slightly analog. And those are a lot of features that you're missing in a lot of modern day luxury cars. In its class, it's one of the most powerful vehicles using a 2-liter turbocharged engine. Yes, 272 horsepower from 2 liters. Absolutely blistering. And if you don't want the 4-cylinder engine, you could also opt for a 355 horsepower V6 engine that is guaranteed to liven up your day in a Model S. But how much is all this luxury and gloriness? Would you believe $38,900 on the US side of the border? And we actually even have a window sticker here. We are in Canada though, by the way. Right there we have a price tag of $48,000. This is in Canadian funds, of course. So that $48,000 compared to the $38,000 is about right when you convert the US to Canadian dollar exchange. This is what you get. Gorgeous Acura TLX. And the next one on our list is this beautiful little hot rod here. We have an Audi. And this one's an S3, but what I would suggest is look at the A3. Yes, 200 horsepower, comes from a 2-liter turbocharged engine, and yeah, it's made it up to a 7-speed automatic transmission. But if you want a little more jam, of course you can always opt up for the S3, 300 ponies plus. That's a great hot rod. But if you want to get in low cost, the rest of the car feels very much Audi, this is a great way to go. For $35,900, you can get into a baseline A3 Audi that checks all the boxes. Let's take a look. Of course, here being the S3, you've got the red calipers. If you go with the opt for the A3, you don't. You do away with some of the extra doodads, but basically this is more or less what you're looking at. The A3 is still based on this chassis and this overall design language. Minus the quad exhaust tips, minus the rocker on the side, it still looks largely like this. You've got these beautiful LED taillights, wonderful large glass panel on the roof, beautiful little mirrors, of course, with the LED strips on the side, and of course a very stout little package that you're going to get in any of these A or S3 or RS3 model lines here. This one being the S3 by Audi, of course, has the beautiful LED headlights as well. But again, as I say, the A3 is much more cost effective. Beautiful vents. Love the very strong sideline of this particular car. Looks very sharp. And again, as I said, with the S3, you get this beautiful little wing on the top. Absolutely wonderful little car. Great, wrapped in leather. New for 23, you've got upgraded door panels, some finishing updates inside the car. Again, there's also an optional 228 horsepower upgrade from the base A3 as well. And in classic Audi form, front-wheel drive is standard. All-wheel drive Quattro is pretty much the go-to for these particular cars. So if you want a pocket rocket, you want something with all of the amenities you're going to find in a modern German luxury car, and you want something that you can rip around with in the snow and the summer and have all the fun and frivolity. Easy to park in tight spaces, easy to maneuver, and just an overall fun little package. The Audi A3 is your affordable luxury pocket rocket that you may consider on your next purchase. And with all of this said, be sure to check out that video. It's great. You're going to love it. Very popular. It's all about the fact that the bubble has burst in the car market. But wait, it's not quite yet time to buy. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you also enjoyed that new video, and we'll talk to each and every one of you on the next one. See you real soon. Bye-bye.